Alright guys, what is up? My name is XIKIZOID and welcome back to our life beginnings and noways. Before we get into the story, I just want to say thank you so much for 50 subs, 50 subscribers. We just reached that today and I'm super happy. Thank you guys so much for all of the support, all of the comments, the likes and the subs as well. Just everything, even just watching helps me out quite a lot. It really does. Thank you guys once again so much for that. Now on to the story. In last episode, if you guys missed that, I will leave a card somewhere around the screen so you can check that out if you missed it. But if you don't want to watch that, I'm just gonna give you a quick recap. And the last episode, we were meaning like our character, our big sister Lizzie and Cove. We were all stuck inside because it was a bad weather outside. It was like too hot, and Lizzie and Cove had a little altercation, little fight between them. Nothing physical, just like verbal fighting. And basically, Cove went home, and we now have to call Cove, and Lizzie has to call Cove and his father, and they have to like smooth things over. And this was the exact frame where we stopped the last episode, because I just wanted to keep that episode a little bit shorter. So let's just continue and on to the story. Eventually, Cove took the phone from his dad. And Cove says, "Hello, who is there?" Hey, it's Lizzie, Lizzie says. "Yeah, I know, Dad told me." Cove's tone was defensive. Lizzie turned to Mom, scowling. One stern look from her though, and Lizzie turned away. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, if you hear some like a background noise from my video, it's from me. Don't worry. It's our washing machine. We have to do the laundry. I mean, I'm really sorry. I know it's like whoop, there she goes. That's the laundry. So I'm sorry about that. I wanted to try to film later on, but it's getting like very late, and I just want to get this video out for you guys so you guys can watch. So one stern look from her though, and Lizzie turned away. "I just go to say I'm sorry for not playing nice with you today. I won't do it again." Lizzie's eyes were downcast, her voice low. You could tell she felt uncomfortable apologizing to Cove in front of everybody. She was still being genuine about feeling bad. Cove must have realized that too, because he sighed quietly. "I want gold, and I think Ziki should win too." "Really? He thought you were worth gold even though you hadn't even wanted it?" Lizzie was momentarily stunned silent by the demand. She probably forgot that what had even happened already. "Alright, we all win the gold," Lizzie says. "Okay, I guess I'm sorry too." A sense of relief washed over everyone at his acceptance of the apology, so he did accept the apology. I'm feeling really good about that, so... Mom uncrossed her arms while Mommy's shoulders relaxed. Lizzie's eyebrows raised up. You wondered if she thought he would refuse her apology. "Dad, can I get off the phone now?" You couldn't see him, but it was obvious that Cove felt awkward about the situation. He had come off uncomfortable the entire time, really. "Yeah, you can go back to your room if you want. Be sure to say goodbye first, though." Bye, Lizzie." "Bye," she says. "Bye, Ziki." Bye. I'm so like this is like cuteness overload for me, because it's like little kids who are just, they have, you know, only pure intentions. So you perked up at the mention of your name. You smiled though I couldn't see it. Even if you couldn't see it. "Bye, Cove," we say. With that said, Cove must have handed the phone to his dad and left, since Mr. Holden spoke up. "All's well that ends well, as they say. Thanks for arranging this. I'm sure he appreciates it." As Mom replied, Lizzie tugged on Mommy's hand to catch her attention. "Can I go now too?" "Sure, sweetie." She said good job, if you guys can hear that. She said like good job. "Thank you very much for apologizing to Cove." Mom flashed a brief smile at Lizzie and nodded her agreement. Given permission to leave, Lizzie scurried off towards the stairs. She seemed to be feeling much better with the incident behind her. Mom and Mommy returned to the phone, taking it off the speaker. They continued talking to Mr. Holden. You couldn't tell what about. We were glad that was the end of it all. And Lizzie and Cove might not get along, they probably still won't, but they weren't mad at each other anymore. Mom and Mommy weren't upset either. Everything was finally back to normal. With that thought, you retreated to your own room with a spring in your step. Yeah, that's nice. I feel good about it. And that was the moment, the grown-up moment, because it really shows, how should I say, a really like mature improvement in their behavior. They're growing up. Even though they're children, they still are learning, you know, these stepping stones to adulthood. You know, I think it's like a really a good selection of moments here. So let's go to the next moment. A long day. And we will get the DLCs as well, guys. We will get the DLCs probably next time we will. So we're gonna have all of the other moments for step 1 as well. So don't worry about that. If you don't wanna watch the regular ones, if you've already played it, I'm gonna do the DLCs as well. So it was another scorching summer day, the kind where no sooner had you finished 1 cup of water, you were already filling it up again. Everyone else had something on, so that afternoon it was just you and Shiloh. This didn't happen much, especially since Cove had arrived. Without Lizzie around, Shiloh looked to you for all the answers. It made you feel... I'm gonna say... well, when I was a child, and somebody... I mean, if I was a child and somebody was looking up to me, I guess I would feel a little bit pleased. Because we are a little bit older than Shiloh. Shiloh was one of the friends of Lizzie's. So, actually the only friend Lizzie has. Because there's so little children in the neighborhood, in the town actually. So, I'm gonna say that we feel pleased. You might not be in double digits like your sister, but he was only 7. Being the oldest and getting to be the leader was a nice change of pace. You drained another drink and frowned at the empty vessel. Your thirst was gone, but you still craved something icy cold and refreshing. Something sweet, something like... I'm gonna say an ice cream... ooh, a popsicle sounds nice. Ooh, what should we choose here? I don't know if every single choice here has like a deeper meaning or like a more... like further reaching consequence. But I'm gonna say a popsicle because popsicles are really like the most refreshing out of these 3, so popsicle. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking these things. I don't know. So you wanted something fruity and brightly colored. There was nothing like that to be found at home. You knew that without needing to look. Your mom didn't keep sweets in the house. Outside there were plenty of places where such goodies could be obtained, but there were shops and demanded payment in exchange for their products. Oh my god. I'm gonna sigh, just sigh. As much as you really wanted that treat, it wasn't going to happen. What's wrong? Shiloh says. I want a popsicle. Shiloh, who had been draped over the sofa, perked up. That sounds good. We don't have any here and I don't have any money. Oh, let me check if I have any. Shiloh rummaged in his backpack and proudly produced an assortment of coins plus 1 stray button. You set the button aside and counted the coins in neat piles. Just over $1. You announced this to Shiloh. He had almost certainly come to the same conclusion, but he had been watching you expectantly. I'm gonna say it's a start. Yeah, let's be a little bit like optimistic here. Because we're children, we can always like ask our moms for money. We can ask like the neighbor, Mr. Holden, for money. So Shiloh beamed at you. We'll need to find some more. Okay. He's being like very, very cute too. So the 2 of you lifted couch cushions, stuck tiny hands down deep crevices in the sofa and under furniture, and scoured the back of drawers. Most of what you found was useless or gross, bent paper clips, fluffy wisps of dust, or sandy crumbs. But every so often one of you would strike silver or bronze and add it to the growing pile of coins. Dusty and disheveled from shaking every room and squinting into every tiny nook, the 2 of you finished pulling your finds. Shiloh held his breath as you counted the coins once again. $2.53 and 2 buttons. You didn't know when the second button had decided to join the party, but you were too pleased with your successful haul to throw it out. Is that enough? You figured he knew the answer, but you appreciated him recognizing your authority on financial and ice cream matters. You straightened up before making your pronouncement. Yeah, we've got enough. We could now afford something in the shops. Just one thing, but that was infinitely better than none. Shiloh clapped his hands. Yay, he says. Okay. But is that enough for only like 1 popsicle or 2? Because I want Shiloh to have a popsicle as well. But we'll see, I guess. We're out of the shops now. So the 2 of you dashed outside. The promise of sugar buoyed you. I know what the buoyo is, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It's one of those things, in the water. But onto your destination, where breathless but happy, you started on the overwhelming number of options. You knew what you wanted, but it wasn't just you who had contributed to the funds to get the treat. He seemed to notice your pause. Aren't you getting a popsicle? Shiloh asked as though he was entirely separate from the decision rather than someone with a stake in the outcome. Do you mind? Shiloh cocked his head to the side. It was your idea, you should choose. I'm gonna say... You tried to get something you both wanted anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I want to be fair to Shiloh. He did provide like half of the money, so we're gonna be fair to him. And it was fair for you to be the one. It wasn't fair for you to be the only one to decide when he had been a main factor in making this happen. Some of the money came directly from his backpack. What do you like? All of them, they're so good. You pressed further. But what do you really like? Popsicles or ice creams? Which is your favorite? Oh, it's so hard to pick, I don't know. Frustrated, you cut the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? You cut to the heart of the matter. You want me to choose? Yeah. And that was that. You got the dessert you wanted originally and hoped Shiloh would actually like it too. Okay, so finally the reward for all your hard work was in your hands. You sucked on the fruity popsicle you had bought. The icy treat cooled you down perfectly and the tasty flavor was refreshing. You held it out to Shiloh so he could take a turn and he shook his head. You can finish it, he says. Oh my god, he's so cute and so thoughtful and oh my god, he's so... Oh, I love him. I love Shiloh. So he didn't want any after everything he did to help you get it? That was weird. I'm gonna try to include Shiloh, obviously. Even if Shiloh said it was okay, every story you had ever seen on TV or read in a book said sharing was caring. You stood your ground even as the treat started to trickle dangerously towards your fingers. It is only fair that you have some. We both bought it. But you want it more than I do and getting to play was a lot of fun already, so you can have it, that's more fair. You held it out to him. I want you to have some, even more than I want to finish it, so eat your part. Relenting, Shiloh took the treat and gave it a taste. His eyes lit up. It's really good, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad that we shared our little treat with Shiloh. So you smiled pleased with your good deed. You picked the best one. Did he mean that? Shiloh was always nice no matter what happened. Even if he hated it, you knew he wouldn't say so. Maybe he thought it was gross and that's the real reason why he didn't want to take some. You had no idea, you had no clue. So you studied him as he ate a little more. He had every appearance of enjoying himself. Still weird though. The two of you began to head back home as he ate. You walked side by side on the shore in silence, but your thoughts kept drifting to the boy beside you. Why didn't he speak up for himself? It was almost as if Shiloh didn't know how to say what he felt or was too afraid to. We have a couple of options here, so I'm gonna say we can ask either are you scared of me or are we friends? And I'm gonna say are we friends, yeah. Shiloh opened his eyes wide, seemingly caught off guard by the blunt question. Yeah, I think so. He says that but friends shouldn't be able to talk to each other without being scared. If Shiloh wouldn't do that, were you even really friends at all? He rubbed his hands together nervously over your non-reaction. I'm sorry, he says. You weren't sure how sorry he could be without knowing what he's even apologizing for, but you shook your head. You didn't do anything. It was true. Shiloh hadn't done something mean. He'd gone out of his way to make you happy. That didn't seem like it should be a bad thing, yet it bothered you. I just don't know if you like me. It's like it doesn't matter what I do, you're gonna act the same. I could be anybody and you wouldn't care. No, I like you. I really, really like you, Ziki. I wanna be friends. Okay, we say. You smiled hesitantly at him and his fidgeting ceased. Even though you weren't sure if you believed him, it was only making things worse. You decided that maybe there were all types of friends. If Shiloh wasn't able to do things differently, this would have to be alright. Shiloh made you unsure about setting a label on the experience of spending the afternoon with just him. There had been good times and there had been confusing ones. You were positive of one thing at least. The treat was delicious and that was nice. I don't know why we're so confused about it. We could just ask him further do you wanna be friends? Maybe because are we friends is a little bit of a more confusing question, a more blunt question. I think we should have had the option to say wanna be friends? You know, maybe just maybe say that. I'm not sure, but the sun was low on the horizon as you returned to your neighborhood. There you spotted two very familiar figures up ahead, Lizzie and Cove. You opened your mouth to make your presence known to them just as you saw the tears on Cove's face. Oh no! You walked straight over Shiloh at your heels. Once there, I'm gonna carefully ask about what happened because we could defend Cove or immediately accuse Lizzie of causing any trouble. Or we can make a joke because I don't think that's appropriate at the moment, so I'm just gonna carefully ask about what happened. Without the time machine, the only way you were going to find out was by asking the witnesses. Lizzie might have done something, but she could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time or even come to Cove's aid. You wanted to hear the story. And we asked Cove what happened. Ziki, I got yelled at. He took a deep, steadying breath. Some grandparents got mad at me. Oh, I'm sorry, Shiloh says. Lizzie jerked her head at the direction of the nearby house. Your heart sunk. You knew exactly what had happened. So, every year the same mean old couple rented out that condo for the summer. You, Lizzie, and Shiloh knew to stay away from them, but Cove couldn't have. They're like that with everybody, we say. Even your mom struggled to find anything nice to say about them, but the elderly pair particularly took offense to kids. It didn't matter if they were really nice like Cove. Yeah, Lizzie said. Lizzie drew herself up at that. She looked pointedly in your direction. I was helping. That's cool. Is there anything I can do? Shiloh says. Cove says, like, no, I'm just gonna stay away. Or you could teach them a lesson. Lizzie is so mischievous. Is that the word? Mischievous? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly. And there was a devilish glint in her eyes. What? Cove says. You should ding-dong ditch them. Go ring the doorbell and run. It'll be great because they're so slow they'll never catch you. That's dumb. I don't want to go near them ever again. You're saying that because you're a cluck chicken. Oh my gosh, she actually said that. Did you guys hear? maybe I need to like up the game volume a little bit. Let me just do that real quick here. Okay. So you're saying that because you're a cluck chicken. Go there, but didn't take the bait. This is turned to you. You're not a chicken, are you? I'm gonna say yeah, cluck, yeah, like, man, she can't tease you about being a chicken if you are in fact a chicken. Hunched over, you folded your arms to form wings and bat them up and down. Buck, ah! So for once your sister seemed at a loss, but didn't take long for her to regain her usual confidence. So you admit it. You continue to flap your arm wings as you circle your sister, cooking all the while. There is no shame in a chicken being a chicken. Yeah, you're a chicken, she says. Things are not going the way Lizzie expected. She fought against the laugh and looked for a way to restore her serious authority. You and Cove are both like little chickens. Bucko, Cove says. He folded his arms, though the one with the cast wasn't as tightly tucked down, and joined you in cheering around. It was hard to click, though, through the giggles that rose up when you saw him imitating a chicken, but you can still both have a first-class performance. The door to the old couple's condo flung open to reveal one of the culprits behind Cove's tears. You froze, wings raised. Old man says, can't you let anyone have a bit of peace and quiet? He must not be a fan of theater or farm animals as well as kids. That was the only explanation for his outburst, which was far louder than anything you and Cove had done. Go on, beat it, says the old man. It was distinctly unfair, but Cove's lip was trembling and you thought it would be best to heed his command. Okay, so Lizzie took off, with Shiloh immediately trailing after her without as much as a glance back to your direction. So much for your friendship. Yeah, you waved at an arm at Cove. I mean, they're just children, guys, so let's be a little bit like lenient towards them. Oh, I spit a little bit, I'm sorry. I don't know if that was visible on camera. So you waved your arm at Cove, summoning him to follow you, and ran after Lizzie. Oh, that's a beautiful... That's again the same like beach side or like hillside that we met Cove first in the beginning. But I believe that this is like in a different lighting because the first time we saw this exact background was in the very first episode when we met Cove for the first time, I think. So this time in this lighting, the golden sun rays just beaming down, it's just so beautiful. I'm really enjoying the art style. It's very pretty to look at. And the old man's colors propelled you all from the street to the sanctity of the hill. Only once you were safe did you notice the stitch in your chest and the ache of your legs. You flopped down the blades of grass tickling your face. Lizzie, who could have taken the lead in the end, was already lazing on the ground. The four of you took a moment to catch your breath and enjoy the feeling of cool grass against your skin. Hey, Cove. Cove lifted his head. I told you there were mean grandparents around here. And Cove rolled his eyes, then decided it wasn't dismissive enough and rolled his whole body away from your sister. Lizzie chose to ignore his response and started chatting to Shiloh, who eagerly joined in the conversation. In the back of your mind, you knew you would be second fiddle again to Shiloh once Lizzie came around. It always went like that. I'm gonna say... it was fine, you thought. Yeah, Shiloh could prefer Lizzie as much as he wanted to. There were other things to attend to anyways. You wriggled closer to Cove. He had calmed down for the most part and was inspecting a flower. His fingers pinched the stem and tilted the white petals towards him. That's a poppy, we say. Oh, by the way, right now is the season for poppies specifically. I really like those flowers. They're so beautiful. Cove glanced at you in acknowledgement, then back to the flower. And the type of poppies on this hill have the name white linen poppy, Mom told me. He quirked a smile. That's funny. He ran a finger around the edge of the petals. It doesn't feel like cloth. You would need a lot of them to make anything. He nodded and released the delicate plant evaluation complete. This is my favorite kind of flower, but I didn't know what it was called. Thank you. Oh, whoa, we have a lot of choices here. Oh my god. We can type our own answer. What? I'm gonna say we have the choice between like roses, buttercups, snapdragon. What's a snapdragon? Hibiscuses, peonies, sunflowers, tulips, orchids. I'm gonna say orchids. I'm gonna say I would pick tulips. You know what? Because tulips are beautiful, so let's pick tulips. My mom gets them on special days and they look really nice. She's nice too. Yeah, and you're like nice like both of them. Oh my god, the cover is so cute, dude. Ooh. Oh, and this such a pretty artwork here. You moved onto your back with a small smile and looked at the darkening sky. And I wonder what Cove is gonna say right now. Alright guys, we're gonna end this episode here. I wanna keep this as short and sweet as possible, just so you guys can like insert them into your busy day. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see the full playlist, I'm gonna leave a card somewhere around the screen and also down in the description. And please subscribe if you want to see some more videos. There's more coming up, so stay tuned for that. And yep, thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!